Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be treating the common mistakes of hair ventilation, the continuation of the previous video where I did earlier. If this sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give us a like, and also watch this video till the end. Let's get right in. So the first thing you want to avoid, the first mistake you want to avoid, is not laying your lace flat. So at every given point in time, whatever job you're doing, whether it's a lace closure, a lace frontal, a full lace wig, a 360 wig, you want the surface to always be flat. You need a flat surface to be able to work perfectly. Now, if the surface is not laid flat, it makes hair ventilation difficult, and you find yourself stressing out. You discover you'll be overworking yourself when you haven't even started doing anything yet. So at every given point in time, you want the surface to be flat. You want the surface to be flat. So you must take note. You must take note and ensure the surface is flat. This will make hair ventilation as easy as possible. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also give a like to this video. So this is what you don't want to have. That's what I'm showing you at the moment. You don't want the lace not to be perfectly laid to the manicuring head. You don't want it loosed like this one. You don't want it loosed. You don't want the lace to be coming up instead of laying flat. You want to avoid that at all costs. So this is a quick show of what I'm talking about by your lace not being laid flat. You discover that if it's not laid flat, you can easily grab the lace, but if it's perfectly laid, you'll not be able to grab it. So this is what you want. So with this surface now, it will be very easy to ventilate through. To be very easy to ventilate through. Very easy to ventilate through. Oh, sorry, this is still that part where it's not perfectly laid. So here it's still not perfectly laid. So showing you an example of trying to ventilate in a surface that is not perfectly laid. It makes hair ventilation difficult. You find out that you'll be struggling, you'll be stressed out, you'll be sweating for doing nothing, and you'll be wondering, oh, are you sure hair ventilation is actually for me? Oh yes, it's actually for you. All you need to do is just to get the right tips. It's just to know what to do at the right time, and hair ventilation will become as easy as possible and sweet. So this is the surface you want. This is how smooth you want the surface to be. Yes, especially an area you want to work on. For bigger jobs, you want that area you want to work on to be smooth and flat. So you can see how easy it is for me to just pick a hole, bring out the pin and the hair, create a loop, and just ventilate. So this is how easy your work is going to be. It's going to be with precision and speed. You'll be effective with less stress. You'll be achieving results. You'll just be moving on the wings of an eagle. You just be flying. You soar. So that's how easy it is when the surface of the lace you want to ventilate on, it's laid flat. So that's it. You must always lay that area flat. That area must be laid perfectly flat to ensure you work effectively and efficiently. So the next thing we'll be looking at here, it's never pin down the lace at the middle. Never pin down the lace at the middle. Now what I mean is your pin must always be at the edges, whether it's an office pin, ball pin, T-pins, it should always be at the edges and not at the middle. You don't want it at the middle. That could cause some damage. That could cause some breakages. It could make the lace to slack. And at the end result, it will show that you aren't a pro in what you're doing. So you don't want any of that to happen. Although some people think putting pins in between the lace, not at the edges, will help them to work better. But that's wrong, because I've had circumstances where newbies that have been taught on how to ventilate end up putting pins or piercing pins through at the middle, and they ended up damaging the lace and causing some breakages, and the lace was looking so horrible that you wonder, does this person really know what he or she's doing? But that was because they never listened. So I expect that you listen and don't do this mistake. Never pin it at the middle. It should be at the sides. Now for folded parts on the lace, try to put your pins there, because those parts can never expand. It will never expand. Okay, you must never put your pin close to the hairline. Now this is a frontal wig that was ventilated, and it was ventilated perfectly. I avoided the hairline till the end. Like I said in previous step of things you must avoid, I ensured the pin was piercing through the edges of the lace. That's why it came out so beautiful, without any damage, no holes, no breakages. Came out as clean as it should be. So if you want to achieve something like that, you must do the same. Avoid the hairline, because when you take your pins close to the hairline, it will not look nice, because there's going to be an expansion, and while you're ventilating, there will be a pulling, and the pulling to be pulling to this side and to this side, the other way, and you discover that it will just expand. A lot of times the holes will just tear, the grids will just tear off. So you want it at the edge. Like I said earlier, now these are the folded parts, the edges. In case you're using a lace that is not folded, you always want to go at the edge. But if it's folded like this one, you want it to be at the edges, like I'm showing you at the moment. Yeah, at the edges, but at the edges is better. Maybe 2 lines or 3 lines away from the edge. So the next common mistake people make, especially if they are new, they want to achieve so much. They think the more of the hair you pack, the more you'll be fast and you'll be able to achieve more. But that's not true. If you're a newbie, if you're new to hair ventilation, you want to pick as little as few strands of hair, so that you'll be able to manage with your thumb and your index finger while ventilating. So that's what we're doing at the moment. You can see, rather than pick so much strands of hair at a time, that will cause some difficulty trying to manage it, I decided to pick just a little of that quantity of hair. Now this will help me to ventilate till the end without being stressed out. My thumb and index finger won't get tired. It will be easy for me to just, just walk till I finish whatever job I have at hand. So also you want your pin each time you want to take a hair to be facing upwards. And once it's facing upwards, it's easy for you to just pick the hair. That's a bonus I just gave to you. That's a bonus I just gave to you. It's easy to pick the hair. So the next thing you want to avoid is while passing the pin through and trying to create a loop, and you've created a loop, you want to take off the pin or pull out the hair. You don't want the tip of the pin to be facing upwards like what I'm showing you at the moment. You don't want it to be facing upwards when you've created a loop and trying to pull out the hair. It won't go through. If it faces sideways, it will not go through. But if it faces downwards, you see how easy it is. When the tip of the pin is facing down, it will just come out of the loop. And there you go, you will have your hair ventilated. And if you repeat process over and over, as easy as that, you find out that you're now a ventilator. It's quite easy. It's quite easy. Just adhere to these tips and you discover hair ventilation becomes an easy game for you. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also give us a like. You can also drop a comment. If you have videos in mind you would like us to make for you, just kindly leave your comment below at the comment section. So the next thing you don't want to do is ventilating and picking so much strands of hair. When I mean so much, you don't want to pick more than 2 strands of hair while ventilating. You don't want to pick more than 2 strands of hair while you're ventilating. And this is very crucial. This is very important. Learn to pick not more than 2 strands of hair, because when you pick more strands of hair, this is common with beginners, they just pick as many strands as possible because they're trying to just understand what they're doing. So it makes the work look rowdy, it makes it very bushy, it makes their work look as thick as the forest. And the forest is never organized. The forest is never organized. What you have that it's organized is the garden. It's always taken care of. So you want your work to be as cool as the garden, as beautiful as the garden. So you must ensure to pick 2 strands, 1 to 2 strands of hair every given time you're ventilating. Make sure to look up our channel for other free videos such as this one on how to ventilate a closure, how to ventilate a frontal like a pro. We have great tips there for you. And make sure you follow this channel. Make sure you stick to this channel because we have some great tips and hair ventilation tutorials coming your way. So make sure you like, share, comment on this video, and don't forget, hit the subscribe button because that will encourage us. That will encourage me to do more for you. So why you don't want to pick more than 3 strands of hair, it's because the knots are going to be looking so big, and you don't want the knots to be big. You need tiny knots. So, and if you must have tiny knots, you need 1 to 2 strands of hair. And in another video, I'm going to be telling you where and when to use 1 to 2 strands of hair to make your work look as sweet as possible. So thanks for watching.